of this Sneaky not being here and Alive being here instead is we don't have enough information on that one. But Sneaky himself was actually the most recent addition to that roster, so kind of a not necessarily recent. He was brought on the first month of this year, so that's the most recent change for them overall. So it's interesting that they're going to be moving him out so quickly, or relatively speaking. Anyway, we don't know. We're speculating here. I'm speculating here. Capital and Lion banned out. That's two very commonplace bans. I would say Lion's probably going to find himself more banned in recent times, as he's been known to be very useful even after his nerfs, especially on a map like Coastline. Capital is universally useful, extremely powerful, especially after his buffs. And Maestro next, probably Mira. There it is. A little bit late on that one. But yeah, there you go. Mira. Surprise, surprise in Europe.
Oh, look, a Mira ban.
Yep. Does it ever not happen? Oh, I mean, it does. But, I mean, very rarely these days.
I mean, her ban percentage is at like 80% or something like that last season, which means that at best, over the whole season, you're looking at a handful of games that she's not being banned out.
Okay, so the reason, so just a quick clarification on the reason Mira gets banned. For a lot of people, they say, oh, she's too powerful. She's just so influential that people they don't want her there. And to an extent, that is true. She's a very powerful operator. But the reason that she's banned so frequently is more because she's polarizing. She changes the way everything is played. So when you set up on a site, usually you'll have a strategy, maybe a few strategies. You'll pivot around, move them based on what you're going to confront from your opponent. But when there's a Mira involved, that doubles the amount of work that goes into each site. You have whole Mira strats and non-Mira strats for most teams. So Mira is often brought off the table entirely, not only because of how good she is as an operator, but also because a lot of these teams, they don't even want to use her, and they don't want the potential of their opponents to use her as an option. They just want to get rid of that entire part of the game just so they don't have to think about it. Because it takes a lot to invest in Mira strats, and they can be so powerful when you're allowed to invest in them. So, yeah, it's a whole complicated thing. But yeah, getting rid of Mira, very common in Europe. Interestingly, well, I guess not interestingly. Here you go. You've got Gridlock again.
You've also got Clash coming out. And we've seen Clash played on Hookah a couple times.
Oh, no.
Ibu might actually be going for a spawn peek here.
Oh.
Here's the gun rattle, but... no, the buck of Corey is just going to stay back for the time being, but no! What an opening frag for Bibu as Clash. You don't expect to see that one, and Corey, keep your cool. You lost your head, but don't do so literally, or, well, in-game literally, but figuratively try to keep it together for the time being. LeStream is going to have to play as if they got spawn peeked because, well, guess what? They did.
And Qual going to be taken down by Aces from the open area skylight. That really shouldn't be allowed to happen. Wonder where he was playing. Looks like, oh, okay, he was playing just by Vase. So that is a common position to be anchored. And I'm guessing he was just rotating, not expecting someone to already be on the skylight. Great pick there from Aces, asserting control where he knew he could quite easily. And now this is anyone's round again, following the B spawn peek earlier. Now, Hicks on Gridlock. Now, Gridlock is going to be great as a substitute for Nomad, for Capitao as well. She can push people forcibly out of locations, but mostly she's going to be using her ability to just set up on flanks. And Alive will start chewing away at those spikes, but it's going to take them a while.
Alive was a lone bright spot on Supremacy's run through Pro League 2 seasons prior, when they were the first team kicked out of Pro League due to auto-relegation in Season 8. He brought fragging potential on aggressive operators, and, well, when you look at Sneaky's stats on Vitality through Challenger League, he often bottom fragged, and he did so on operators where you should never be bottom fragging. Because of this, I think the upside for Alive is that he adds more killing potential, and, well,
speaking of,
they're going to need him to do so, as Diffuser goes down, and Ace is on Repel with 3 kills so far. Probably trying to hunt another down below. It's all going to come down to the newest member of Vitality is Alive. He might just be subbing here. He'll gun Aces and cut him right down. Choose through that wire, and down will go the German player for LeStream in a 3v2, but Alive is finished off by Hicks. An unceremonious end to this round. UMP Abride navigates through those track stingers, but Rise has the angle, and LeStream had all their different lines of sight covered. They get a successful diffuser planted on round number 1, and they pick up the round for good measure in all the kills, not even needing the timer. Go in their favor.
Really off the back of Ace's efforts, managing to get a pick early, basically for free on a very common angle, following that up with 2 kills on that big window repel, exerting full control onto pool table. Once they had control of pool table, it's a really easy diffuser plant just inside the site on default spot. Not a lot that Vitality could have done because of Ace's positioning. So, good job to LeStream. Excellent execution. Now, Vitality are going to go back to billiards and hookah. And just, hopefully, if you're a Vitality fan, second time's the charm here. As they did give away a lot of free kills that they didn't need to. Unnecessary misplays, missteps from Vitality that can be corrected, and I'm sure that's what's going through their heads as they go back to this site. There is no clash being brought here by the defense. A little bit of a change there. Maybe we'll be taking out the pulse this time. Now, LeStream did not clear underneath very much. I think they applied a light pressure to downstairs, but they didn't actually clear downstairs, which is something that I'm sure Vitality are reading into right now. Now, the problem with that is that right now, as you can see, Corey has just spotted out Bibu on his drone, which means that this downstairs presence is going to be a known factor for LeStream. And because Pulse is known to be on the board, as LeStream just spotted him, they very, very likely will clear out underneath. So yeah, a nice adjustment from Vitality, but knowing LeStream, they're pretty good at adjusting to, well, whatever you bring.
This is going to be a very interesting case of aggressiveness meeting passiveness with the way that Vitality plays, right? Vitality likes to take their time. We note this every single time they play, even though Vitality have gotten much quicker to the punch. It was spoken of, actually, in the previous interview that Vitality had to get better overall, and I think they have. This is probably their strongest iteration. But they'll lose the Pulse, who's playing a little bit too loose and gets hunted down by Aces. Their body walks just in front of Corey, but he can't capitalize off of that. Still trying in vain, but isn't able to do much work with it. Oh, Eyes a beautiful shot onto Spark. Oh, there are a few players who could make that one reliably. Rise usually does so quite well, and some tribute being paid from his opponent. Diffuser is down, and you know that the Vigil of Bride down in security takes a chunk of Corey's HP away. There's actually 2 bodies here. It looks like they might be doubled up as the Jaeger is now called to the stairs, and Alive will possibly fight for a trade, but no, he's just too far off, and a second kill from Rise will come out. We are 1 minute and 10 seconds into this round, lads, and we already have 3 deaths on Vitality's side of things, and 3 opening kills for LeStream. They've now got the other half of the round to try and figure out where the Jaeger is playing and where the Mute is playing. They know exactly where 1 is, as Corey is just out of reach of hitting the head of the Mute. But he's got a grenade ready, and he's got that Mute's name on it. Drops it a little bit too late. Hicks takes out Alive, and it's all up to Qual, who from above might get an impactless frag, but he's going to be circled on, and he's going to lose the cover of the wall as well. Interesting timing. Corey will pull out the pistol, and it's a flawless round from LeStream, who just barnstormed their way in and never slowed down.
So, I mean, pretty much exactly what we expected to come to pass did. Again, the Pulse was spotted by the drone as he went down blue stairs in the prep phase, and then LeStream, you could practically hear their comms. Like, they were broadcasting their intention when they started pushing into office. It was just a simple case of, oh, there's a Pulse playing downstairs? Let's clear out office. Let's push downstairs before we take into Aquarium. And all the while, when LeStream is executing onto office, they get control, they get blue bar, then they start pushing into Aquarium. All the while this is happening, Vitality are giving picks to LeStream. They're trying to deny that push, and they're getting shut down in the process. It was really a simple round, well executed from LeStream, and Vitality didn't have a lot to show for us in that particular round. So things need to change here if you're Team Vitality. We've noted in past, and we've talked about many times, as you stated, how Vitality are on defense and on attack. I think on defense, Vitality's nature is going to work against them, especially on a map like Coastline. But when it comes to attack, they will have, I think, at least maybe a little bit more sure footing. So Vitality need to get to that attack side, in my opinion, to really have a stride in this match. But right now, it's looking like LeStream don't want to let that happen, or at least want to make it as painful as possible when Vitality do get there.
Vitality really struggled on this hookah site. They just could not control the entry for LeStream, and they really struggled on the office downstairs. I don't necessarily know if changing to the double bars will do all that much, because you're still going to have LeStream entering from the same areas.
Yeah,
in fact, it's very likely that the second floor control of Vitality will be the big difference maker here if LeStream can't replicate that on the floor above.
Yeah, I imagine it'll probably be a top 4 clear, turning into vertical control, especially considering we've got that buck in play right now for LeStream. They've got a lot of soft destruction that they could use to gain an advantage. This is a heavy horizontal roam from Vitality right now, a light presence upstairs. They do have one roamer by Projector who can do some damage. I believe he's at the top of main lobby stairs right this second. There's potential for a flank. Got Bibu roaming inside of security on Mozzie. It's likely there's a pest in here, and that's probably why LeStream are a little bit hesitant on this push. Bibu looking to capitalize upon this misinformation, but it's actually going to be the opposite. Hicks will take down Bibu, and that right there is just good teamwork from LeStream. They guessed that there would be someone inside of security, or they spotted him earlier. They put someone up on the office doorway outside the building to cut off his rotation. Then they started pressuring from main lobby, and it's a free kill. Well, not a free kill. LeStream put in a lot of work. It's just a well-executed kill made it to look easy by LeStream's effortless take.
This is the third round, though, where Bibu's put himself directly in the line of fire at the onset, right? He did the same thing with Clash in round number 1, but he had a lot better of a chance to stay alive due to the way the bars play and where he was positioned as he peaked as the Clash, but LeStream find themselves opening up that advantage. Now, keep in mind as well, this round was basically over in round number 2 by this exact moment. And LeStream inside of the main lobby will continue to pressure over towards both the bathroom and the kitchen side. They haven't really invested all that much on that second floor, and oh, Spark here could possibly win out the fight. He'll take a bit of Rise's HP away and lose some on his own. Alive now in a position to be able to finish off what was started, and there he goes! What a shot from Alive, making his presence be known as he's a newer addition to this team, or at least subbing in for the time being.
He's playing.
He's here, he's present.
Yeah.
So
he's going to be a good force there for Vitality. On the kitchen roam, he can establish crossfire on these roam clearers from LeStream who haven't decided to push all the way to the north side of the first floor. Now, Ace is wary of pressure from open area, rightfully so. There is a player trying to take control of that zone. It's not an easy thing to do, though. Spark here, elevated and open, but his position given away. Ace is going to try and clear it out, and he'll be successful. There goes Spark. And now, that top floor pressure that LeStream were feeling is gone. However, 20 seconds for the attack to make this happen, and Vitality still have 3... Well, I mean, 1 anchor, 2 roamers above the site trying to deny vertically. It's going to be pushed from Corey here to take out the last anchor himself. It's going to be Brid. And a retake here from Alive will be thwarted. It's just Qual. 1 more drop from Open, and again, more kills for Aces. Mostly to do with that open area, and LeStream will take the round confidently.
Losing control, losing fights, over-aggressiveness. This is not the rhythmic Vitality that we're used to seeing. And it's not the Vitality that showed up big last week as well. Instead, it's LeStream and Aces in particular absolutely pummeling this game.
Yeah, Aces has really had a beautiful showing. He is getting away with the things that he shouldn't be able to get away with. One thing in particular I want to highlight on that note is last round, you just saw when he managed to get the kill on the Legion, who was playing an open area, elevated. He didn't drone his way up there. He didn't have any other information other than the spray that went from that position. So he knew where his opponent was, but the fact that there was no one else from Vitality to assist that roam means that that Legion was playing on an island, essentially, by himself with no support from his teammates. And that is puzzling. When you get an aggressive position like that, top open area, when you're trying to apply pressure to a roam, a clear you know to exist in main lobby, as a Legion, as a roamer, you know you need support from your teammates. You know that those angles, like the push from the main lobby stairs, need to be covered. But not so from Team Vitality. And again, that's just Vitality giving away a free pick and not actually thinking about the roam. Not actually thinking about their positioning. Just allowing LeStream and Aces specifically to pick them apart one by one. It's beautifully done from LeStream. And all they're doing is capitalizing upon the mistakes that Vitality are committing. It is truly puzzling from Vitality. Because, as you said, it kind of isn't the Vitality we're used to seeing. And again, it does really mostly fall at their feet.
No. I like that you said that Aces is getting away with stuff that he shouldn't get away with. I think that perfectly sums this up. LeStream don't even really necessarily need to take chances because they're being gifted to them.
Yeah.
And when you're in that position, you can play so much freer and not really have to worry about making mistakes because your mistakes are not as amplified as your opponent's. 2 cracks at Hookah proved to be unsuccessful for LeStream. They went down to the double bars on round number 3, lost it. They're going to go to the double bars this time yet again. And if the pattern holds and LeStream wins, then I will imagine that you'll likely see maybe the kitchen be on the docket for Vitality. The telltale sign of the track stingers going down.
Or just tracks?
All of them, actually. All of the stingers have gone down for Hicks. He's utilized 3 of them, and they're all going to be on this anti-flank established. Make a pretty pattern inside of luggage, then also over by Master.
Yeah, so again, the gridlock is effectively a nomad, but more obvious. It's more obvious for both sides, though, for the defenders and the attackers. It's more obvious when there's a flank, and it's more obvious that the flank is being watched.
There's no Valkyrie on the board, and she's not banned, so Vitality can use that information if they want to. Alive runs out and gets detected. A shot will miss its target. Aces knows that there's going to be somebody down below, an inopportune time for Hicks to leave the game. And because of this, LeStream will find themselves actually down and battling from the back. It's the gridlock that's gone as well. Now, mind you, all the stingers are down early, so LeStream might have some confidence in the ability to finish this one out.
Yeah, I mean, an easy one-man advantage, but that has been corrected by Rise. A well-placed flash followed up by the peek there from Rise, and good teamwork on the side of LeStream to make that happen. But Bibu on the roam, be able to push some pressure onto Corey, and there's another actually for Bibu in the hallway as LeStream start falling one after another. Alfama gonna take down Call, though. Beautiful flank there from the kitchen. No one from Vitality watching this kitchen pressure. I love the change from LeStream to move over to kitchen, see an opening, and seize it, but questionable that Vitality allowed that to happen. Oh, this could be another one for Alfama, and it will. There goes Alive, and now site control well in hand for LeStream. And with 25 seconds, they just need to get that diffuser down, and another kill by Blue Stairs. This is an absolute lockout and a beautiful almost clutch from LeStream. In the post plant, Spark will have to retake onto 2 attackers, and he's got one of them very lit up, but it's not a sure thing. That's to be certain. Oh no! Opportunity missed from Spark! If he had held onto that angle for a second longer, it would have been a 1 versus 1, but not so. He doesn't know where the diffuser is. He hears one inside a kitchen thanks to his own Legion Trap, and he's trying to get that kill, trying to get 1-on-1, but it won't happen. As that player in the main lobby has gone for a distant denial with the X-Caros on that wall. It's gonna be Rise, the last kill. LeStream will take the round. And wow, what a interesting run right there. A beautiful 2 versus 4, I believe, retake from LeStream.
And Hicks actually getting back in at the last second, so you might not even need to see us anymore.
Hi.
We're going to jump back in. Thanks for stopping by and checking in on us. But we're okay. Hicks gets in at the last second, so hey, they didn't even need him. Maybe he said, you know what, guys? I gotta restart.
I'm going to go get something to drink.
You win this one for me.
Use the restroom, relax a little bit. You guys have fun. But, okay, all right, let's...
That was a 2v4.
And you know what it is? It's off of Vitality, again, making just really odd mistakes.
I don't even know if it was a mistake that time. Everybody from Vitality got killed from angles they weren't expecting.
No, but I can pinpoint it. I can tell you exactly what it was. They had no information on Kitchen. And I'm guessing what it was is they were relying on the Legion Traps. Because remember the Legion Trap that Habana hit in the post plant? The one that we saw Bibu try to actually chase down inside a kitchen? The assumption from me is that they expected that Legion Trap, that one Legion Trap, to give them sufficient information on kitchen to the point at which they didn't need to watch it. And Vitality was incorrect in that assumption. The Legion Trap activated as LeStream used it later, again, post-plant, as the clutch was already seeming to come into form. But it was just... yeah, Vitality needed to lock down that kitchen push. The last 2 members on LeStream just pushed in through kitchen, took site control, and the round was over. Vitality had, at that point, after Alfama went down, they had 1 anchor. Pardon me, not Alfama. After Alfama got the pick on the single anchor by Sunrise Bar, there was only 1 anchor for Vitality. 2 roamers above the site, and that 1 anchor was alive. You saw he was in blue bar trying to hold down the kitchen push, but it was too late at that point. And, you know, the attack was already in the site, and he didn't adjust in time.
Oh, Qual once again as the smoke! As the smoke! Your most important operator on Vitality in the final 30 to 40 seconds, and the most pivotal operator who plays as an anchor here for Vitality somehow finds himself done. 30 seconds in.
So Hicks comes back with a vengeance. But speaking of, Aces has finally been shut down. Here we go. Brid losing a lot of HP, but still getting the kill, and on such a potent player in Aces.
Almost single-handedly carrying LeStream through a number of those rounds, and well, Aces will sit and reflect with 2 minutes to go. The rest of LeStream will now circle around and head towards the hookah balcony. BB will find another, traded off, but Alive is there. He has his teammates back. Rise will try to trudge on. He has a Q-mine in his foot, and he's right on the door. He'll run right in. There's nobody playing inside of pink. He's fully in sight, but he has no diffuser available to him. He'll drop, he knows it's being watched from the Jaeger of Alive, and now Corey is in sight too. Nobody from Vitality are in a position to play off of this. Now, mind you, the diffuser is down and will need to be retrieved, and this is where things can get kind of tricky. To spray around the corner. Skeleton key out, waiting for a push-up, and oh no, Corey, there's a grenade out instead, and the Mozzie will continue to backpedal. Spark will not bother to put himself in any harm's way. C4 will go off and it will miss. Rise with the diffuser down, looking for a third for Vitality. Corey's under fire from 2 angles. Can't cover them all. He'll get downed. Diffuser gets down, though, at 2. Rise will twist around, but he knows he's got a couple angles. It's a triple kill or a double kill. Will need to be a triple kill for Bride, and he'll get it. 3 kills on the board for Bride, and they'll also get the disable quite easily with plenty of time to spare. Things got hairy there, but Vitality will find their very first round and doesn't even get to the halfway mark, as it's a counter defuse, or a disable as we call it.
Definitely disable. Good job there to Vitality, locking up the site. However, could you imagine that round in a scenario where the diffuser wasn't downed outside? There was full control on both sites for LeStream despite a man disadvantage for a solid 30 seconds there. A really curious way that LeStream decided to play that. Some major mistakes being played, especially on Corey, on that blue stairs hold. Really, really unlucky timing for Corey. You know, you could, in a way, it's on Corey's shoulders. He made some big, pretty huge blunders. However, you guys all know what it's like with siege timing sometimes. And he got really unlucky on like 3 different occasions there with the grenade, with the hold on the mute in the hallway, just so many different scenarios going awry for Corey. And you can't blame him necessarily. But good job to Vitality. They got the first round. They did it. It was in odd fashion, but they managed to make it happen.
We want to point out poor performance, but a better story for Vitality is how they haven't been able to kick off the engine on fragging. They found 5 kills in that round, which definitely helped pad the stats, which, as you can see, are quite meager for the time being. 2 members of Vitality still have yet to find the scoreboard as well, both Qual as well as Spark. And you look at it, and it's so far, it's 11 kills, 5 of them coming in that previous round, which means that in the previous 4 rounds, only 6 frags for Vitality. There's really no way of spinning it. Those are terrible numbers. And
what was that?
It looked like it was a spawn peek onto Rise, and this has been a very interesting game from both of these teams. They have taken a lot of chances that you don't often see. Bibu has been on the opening end of every opening kill or every opening death so far, and he looks like he's in a position to do the same.
He's decided to just stay in delivery. This is very dangerous. It is a kitchen defense, the first one we've seen so far from Vitality, the last defensive round for Vitality. There's no overtime, so that won't be a factor. This position that Bibu is playing can work out for him. He is playing Vigil, so it's possible that he will slip by the awareness of LeStream from those drones. However, not likely. Brid will take down Corey, so there you go. Sledge goes down, and there's no nades on the side of LeStream any longer. Brid and Alive have taken some damage, though, so it's a decent exchange from LeStream, though they still find themselves on the back foot. It's my soft destruction here from Ace is to try and hurt the roamers as much as possible. He's got information by Vase, and Rise is actually trying to make this push happen, but some bad timing gonna allow that roamer to fall back down the blue stairs, and Rise is aware of that now. He'll make some adjustments.
LeStream has been the Unfortunate beneficiary of some awful time, and it will happen again with Spark on Cool Vibe stairs as the IQ looked around the corner, and Rise could have possibly seen that kill, but I think he knows it now, and he's aware to the tricks of the Mozzie of Spark. Spark is still looking for his first kill at the start of this round. LeStream seems to be stalling out for the time being here, but there's another body up top. And with the breach charge going off, Brede might know of it, but there's a Zofia who doesn't understand where he is. Oh! And Brede light him up. No, he'll miss. And it's two members of LeStream who will swing on out. And the castle will fall. Alive taking some damage earlier on. Means that both teams are now basically at even. Qual gets felled. He will not find his first kill of the match, at least not yet, as Hicks guns him down. And now LeStream appears to have basically unfettered control from above.
All right, LeStream setting up. They have their full control. They're starting to open those holes. They're going to go for a delivery take. This is pretty standard here from LeStream. These breaching charges are going to be so very useful. The Axcaros detonating there by storage. That's going to allow the player in the main lobby to cut off a lot. Bibu has been sitting here the entire round. He's playing on Vigil so he can kind of mask his presence to the drones. I wonder if LeStream have figured out his position or not. You can see a little bait work done there by Spark to try and distract the attackers from Bibu's potential location. It doesn't seem like LeStream is aware of this. Here comes the pre-fire from Bibu, but they all go the wrong direction. Impacts come out in vain, and a nice attempted flank, but it's too late. And while the planter goes down, so does the diffuser. Exchanges here, and LeStream find themselves in a 2 versus 2. Bibu's still alive right on that delivery doorway. He has done a lot of work in this round, but since he failed to deny the initial plant, it's going to be very hard for his team. LeStream have both vertical control and a repeller who can do a lot of work. Actually, they're going to give up vertical control. Quite interesting to hold on to the main lobby. Aces gets the delivery push, and there goes the main lobby push. LeStream managed to take the round. Well done to them. That's a 5-1 on the first half.
I was transported back to 2017 there as Bibu sat in the exact same spot for 3 minutes and 2 seconds and did not move. Peak vitality.
He came so close, though. Did you see where
very close.
His bullets are all around? He was painting something.
And it's funny because when you hit a body, it makes that kind of splat noise. And we heard it, at least I heard it from my perspective, when he made contact with the planter on the shoulder. And what ended up happening? Nothing. I
don't know.
Maybe there was the comms were too crazy. I'm not sure exactly why he wasn't able to finish up. But Bibu, at least from us, we heard the bullet land. Bibu might not have heard that in his own headphones. But yeah, tantalizingly close for vitality. But a 5-1 game, and this one, our match of the day, has been an absolute runaway so far. Now, there were many people who suspected that Coastline was a strongly attacker-favored map. The stats have kind of evened out over the last couple months or so. So a 5-1 scoreline on attack on Coastline. That is not normal anymore. No. As you can see, the stats still tell quite the tale. We're 6 rounds in, and 2 members of Vitality have not found that scoreboard at all.
I want to point out something very specific that I've noticed through this match, at least in the first half. It might change now that we switched sides here and LeStream are on defense and Vitality are on attack. But the timing for both teams has been insanely off, I guess, off tempo. These two teams are on completely different pages. And it's weird to watch. It is straight up weird to watch because we'll have people holding angles then coming off at the last possible second. And sure, that happens every once in a while in Pro League. Absolutely. But it has been happening so frequently in this match that it is just odd. And it's not just that, people pushing at the worst possible moment when they have an opportunity to inflict some damage, like that castle upstairs. Behind the dresser, he goes unnoticed. No one's droned him in Master. He peeks at the worst second, misses every shot, and then, now he's given his position away. He's a dead man walking. This has just been happening so frequently. There's a lot of other examples. If you go over the video, or if you've been watching this whole match, you'll notice them. This is just some really odd timing. And I don't know if it's going to continue, but I mean, I expected it to be a weird match in terms of timing, but I didn't expect it to be quite this weird.
LeStream is doing their best Vitality impression with how aggressive they're being for the time being. As you've got both Corey and Rise ready to swing out the door, take care of Zofia playing there. Qual has his launcher out. Will he be able to capitalize? Qual gets on the board, taking out Rise, looking for kill number 2 around the shield, and it'll be 2 for his trouble. What a statement to make by breaking the 0 that was under your name, as now Bibu barrels on in, takes out Alfama. Calls Hicks back, takes out Bibu, looks for the other, oh! 2 beautiful shots from Hicks, and we're back to a 2v2 with Qual down solo. That he just needs to be sneezed on, and he'll topple on over.
And against the smoke of all operators, this is really not ideal for Vitality, and off the back of Hicks being absolutely insane landing those shots, but he'll be shut down by Qual. A nice push in there from Blue Bar. Not much information on the side of LeStream. Aces does have a C4 for denial, and this nice open wall. He knows the plant's going down, sees the cover, and what a nice shot! Qual eliminated. No stick on the plant. Ride gonna fall back. He's playing this slow. He knows he has 50 seconds. He doesn't need to rush this. Definitely advantage IQ, but oh, another beautiful shot from Aces! And Hicks, the dynamic duo with those SMG-11s, LeStream, find themselves taking a round that looked all but lost.
Very close as Qual looked to try to make up for the pace that had been set by him and his team in the previous 6 rounds, but there's only so much one man can do, especially when you're just a goo miner 1 whiff of those toxic canisters away from death. Successful defense of the bars, is that's only the first time that it's been successfully defended before, and because of this, well, where do you go next? You're going to go to Kitchen. All right, with the match on the line here, and LeStream actually poised to knock Vitality out of this one in a pretty lopsided 7-1. We haven't seen a lot of lopsided matches so far this season. I mean, keep in mind we're only 6 play days in. We've seen 2 7-0s.
Yeah. I mean, that last match was fairly lopsided as well. The one Empire just now beating out Chaos in a 7-3 favor Empire was decently lopsided. I mean, again, that's one of those ones where I think the score didn't reflect the actual way the match was being played. It was really one-sided to Empire overall in terms of the pacing. Here, we're seeing something kind of similar. I do think this is actually a little bit of the opposite. Vitality have had some really good moments. However, LeStream have looked in full control throughout this match. And you see a 6-1, yeah, it's a halfway switch, but you just, you know, I don't see a lot of people looking at that. Is weird to look at, Aces. He's just waiting for the round to start so he can throw the camera out. There you go. And he missed, I think. Or that's exactly where he wanted it. I don't know. I can't know until we see what that camera can see, and we'll have to wait till he checks it. But looks like he was aiming for the wood. Anyway, it feels like LeStream are in full control. So, yeah. If he was aiming for the wood, by the way, it would have been destroyed by now. So maybe this is exactly where he wanted the camera to land, but I can't imagine that camera sees very much, so, Sunrise roam here from LeStream. Vitality aware of this, looking to clear it out. Spark just trying to get that Legion trap. There you go. It's gone.
Juggle that diffuser and just wait as you're at the double bar, but it looked like there were some bullet tracers that went by, and Alive will have to stop for a moment, as an Ash not moving on is an interesting thing. Spot the Mozzie, though, as Alive will continue his drone to move forward.
Heavy Sunrise roam here from LeStream. Very, very heavy. 3 players in a position to support this hold.
Hicks is nestled in. He knows he's not going to have to take any fire from the window of Kitchen either, so he's in good shape. As he and Alfama are down below, and then you've got the Valkyrie above. So there you go. LSE's defense for the time being. Oh! Look to be in pretty good shape. Bibu will take out Corey and then grab the C4 as it falls. It can't go off anyway. Alive barrels on in. Rise finds him, and then a second frag for Rise. In very quick order, pistol out. Oh, and a third for Rise. The man cannot be stopped inside of the Sunrise bar. Waiting for somebody to capitalize upon that. It's Bride who walks right in, but it's still a 3v2 favoring LeStream with the match on the line. And Rise, single-handedly, could have just won it for his team.
But
the 3v2 turns to a 2v2 very fast as Hicks, once again, will lose the plot, and he falls off, leaving just Alfama and Aces. A Valkyrie spotted down by the bathroom door on a drone, and Qual will now go onto his own drone, as all of this intel and information that Vitality will need to pull off the remainder of this play with a minute to go will need to be gathered.
Oh, with that Hicks disconnect there, LeStream definitely don't have full control. It looked like it was going to be their round as a certainty, but -1 player. Unfortunate for them. Gas canister starting to go off here as we get to about the 30-second mark. So there's 2 left here. He can pace this for the entire round and deny one of these lanes outright. He's going to get a little aggressive with the gas canister. A nice peek there from Aces will do more damage to him than his opponent, so not so nice as it turns out. Alfalma has positioned himself very poorly, and the gas canister not going to be able to get him out of this one. It's been shut down by Bidet. Ace is going for another run out here. Can he make it work is the question, and Alfalma gets eliminated, which means the run-out's no longer possible because the player's in the site. C4 likely to miss. Spray will as well, and Vitality salvage that round thanks to a great effort by Bidet and a disconnect on the side of Hicks.
The Zolfi had been downed as well. I understand why they pushed. I understand why they pushed with the C4, but more than anything, if he had just kept his gun out, then he probably would have been able to get that kill on the IQ. I don't think he was expecting that to happen. I don't think he understood the IQ went for the push, which is the right call to make. At that position, you're in a 1v1. You know that you're going to be vulnerable. You know you're running out of time. The Zolfi had been down. At best, she picks herself up with 5 HP, but until she can withstand, which remember is a unique ability that only she has, you're in a 1v1. You have to take the fight with that little time on the board, and Bidet does just that. And I actually didn't see if Spark was able to land a kill or not in that round. He might still
Smoke?
be... Spark?
I don't know.
On attack?
No, he wasn't. I don't believe so. Because it started off with Bibo getting the frags early on. Then we had the Zofia clearing in.
That's right.
And then it was pretty much just Bidet in the end there. So either way, he did apply pressure from the main kitchen doorway, and I think that's important. He did manage to influence the round. The thing that I really called into question was the aggression from Smoke there at the end. I'm not entirely sure what the thought process was. I guess he wanted to get a pick and isolate one player on the kitchen doorway to make it easier for himself, but he ended up costing his team that round, unquestionably. If he had simply held by shelf and allowed for Aces to run out on the kitchen window by persisting and using his last gas canister, then that probably would have been a pretty easily won round for LeStream. And we probably would have had a 7-1, but now we're looking down the barrel of a 6-2 and potentially a draw from Vitality if they keep that ball rolling. I will say, though, I want to step back a little bit here because I do think that probably would have been a lockout had Hicks been able to persist.
Had Hicks not disconnected at probably the most heartbreaking time for his team, it's almost certain that we're in the middle of an interview right now. And I think that's fairly safe to say. With how close that came with the 2v2, especially when you've got a 3v2, you've got one extra doorway you can cover. You don't have to try to cover bathroom and then the window inside a kitchen. You also have somebody possibly playing close to make sure that nobody's pushing into kitchen. And the problem was that the Valkyrie was on such low HP that she couldn't aggressively contest the kitchen door because then you file, you know, and then what happens after that, right? You've got the, you know, the smoke playing at the window and you can't really do all that much. So...
I mean, overall, a oddly played round from LeStream as well. Again, the aggression, it just feels like they were a little bit off-keter with each other. They weren't playing the same kind of game. Aces was trying to get that run out. If he had been a 3-speed, I think that probably could have been a LeStream round as well. Something worth noting is Aces was seconds away from getting the kill on the IQ outside of kitchen. Had he landed a shot, of course, but it's Aces. So, not an ideal result for LeStream. However, I don't really see this changing very much. It's just one more round for Vitality.
Keep in mind that Hicks was also playing Echo. So it's not just that Hicks disconnected in general, but it was the operator that he was on would have made a significant difference. Not just in the ability to reposition the Yokais depending on where they were and be able to gather information and on and on and on.
Luckily, and this is really important, it's just one round for Vitality, and they currently only have 2 total, which means that it's not the end of the world for LeStream. They're still looking like they're going to lock this out. It could have been one round sooner, I think.
Yeah. I would struggle to see Vitality come back and win the next 4, but crazier things have, of course, happened.
It's true.
I don't know.
Imagine if that does happen.
Not with the way that they've been playing. And, well, we'll test that theory.
Imagine if that does happen, though.
Imagine.
Oh, the drama. All right, so kitchen defense again for LeStream. Now, we can say with I think decent confidence that that LeStream looked good on this site. One thing that really shined, of course, was that triple piece for I believe it was Rise. managed to put those 3 kills together aggressively in Sunrise Bar. Really well done to him, and of course, you don't expect that to be replicated here in this round, but if LeStream get to play with 5 players this round, then it might not need to be replicated. Now, big question for me is, where's Vitality going to clear from? Because when they took in through Sunrise Bar, they lost a lot of manpower, and there might be better prospects for them. However, LeStream are setting up in a very, I guess, mobile roam. Right now, actually, in this round, it doesn't even seem like they're putting a lot of effort into holding Sunrise, at least early on. Most of their setup's going upstairs, so this is a little bit different from LeStream. Love to see them change preemptively, expecting some different strategies from Vitality. Don't know if there will be different strategies, but it's good to see from LeStream, you know?
Yeah. Running a similar lineup here. Mozzie has been played quite extensively on Coastline, actually, more than I would have anticipated. I think a lot of that is just simply that they know how important both these teams rely on that very quick entry. And of course, if you can capitalize off of that with a drone, then Mozzie might be able to grab 1, 2, or even 3. Also, don't underestimate the Mute Mozzie combo. We talked about this in the Latin America matchup last week.
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to point that out just now. As I've talked to quite a lot of players recently, and even in scrims, have been noticing that you know, a Mozzie plus a Mute is just so much information denial for the attack that it can sometimes absolutely kneecap your attack. Like, it just takes you out. Information just dissipates, and then suddenly you don't know what you're getting yourself into, as well as that information now working against you on those Mozzie hack drones. So, yeah, it's definitely a potent combination. And against who is it most potent? Against slower teams that rely on those late-game drones. And Vitality, absolutely, in the end of their attacks, rely on their drones. They are one of the most notorious teams for doing so. If they don't have information when executing onto the site in the last 20 seconds of the round, then they will very likely fall flat on their faces when they go for that push.
Speaking of that slowness, and you can look at a live here, and oh, I don't know how you miss all those shots, and Rise actually nades himself!
He doesn't have more!
Can't really do all that much to take out the IQ. Brede is downed. Spark will refrag. That should be the first kill for Spark. Now calls Corey in to possibly try to help, as Brede is still down, has been picked up, but he'll get willed back to life inside of the foyer of Sunrise Bar. Still very low HP, and keep in mind that Rise was a Legion, so 2 goo mines will take Brede back down to 0, and put him out of action yet again. Corey up top watching that hatch. He's going to have a couple angles to try and look after. There's one on Repel. Just over by the Aqua balcony, and Corey will scoot on by.
Ace has just heard one by security. That's why he went for that ping, and it's going to be Bibu actually pushing out of security into the main hallway, trying to chase down Aces. He is a 2 armor 2 speed, and he's giving away his position by moving here, and he's going to be flanked by Hicks inside a bathroom, so that 5th man presence already being so powerful for LeStream. That long angle play going to work out. Corey will take down Alive as well, and we are looking down the barrel of 7-2.
Yeah, 10 seconds left here, shotgun out. Hard pressed to think that Sparks going to be able to accomplish all that much, but he gets 1, looks for a second. Can't control the recoil, it's Hicks. And a quick end. LeStream 7-2, as you predicted. If they had held on to Hicks for that previous round, it could have been a 7-1. But 7-2 is the scoreline that it goes for. And LeStream will join Empire back at the top. And in fact, LeStream will actually increase their lead because they now have 1 fewer round played than Empire. Empire lost 3 to Chaos. Only 2 lost for LeStream, so back to first overall you go.
I was getting a little bit of deja vu for a second there. Spark, Habana, last one alive, kitchen attack. In the same position as well when he got that clutch against, I believe it was Ents ages ago. But he didn't get the clutch this time. LeStream get the 7-2. Well done to them. And honestly, it looked like it could have easily been a 7-1. Very, very easily. Not surprised by that result based on what we were seeing in the first half. The transition over there to the second half when Vitality wanted to attack did not change anything. Just a dominant match for LeStream. Yeah,
LeStream clobbered them. I think that's the best way of saying it. We thought the Empire Chaos matchup was quite quick. We speculated that one of these 2 matches would be the match of the day, and you know, so far based on their record, I mean, it was a showcase on how not to peak LeStream and how for LeStream could entry.
Very interesting match.
It was a very interesting match.
Timing.
And I didn't think either of these matches would actually be as lopsided as they have been so far.
Neither did I.
If I'm being honest with you.
I'm with you on that one.
But we've got an interview ready with LeStream. So we'll say hello to them and ask them about this matchup. And Corey, is this your first time doing an interview?
My second time, actually.
You did it last week on the second play day, right?
No, I did it against Supremacy, also on Coastline, in Season 8.
Oh, I meant with LeStream. I didn't mean with in general. Well, congratulations on your victory today. A couple questions for you. First and foremost, that matchup was particularly fast. Did you expect Vitality to come out of the gates on their attacks and defenses, peaking as aggressively as they did?
No, absolutely not. Like, we knew that they're going to get Alive, and we knew that Alive has an absolute different playstyle to Sneaky, even though they're both fairly aggressive players. But the entire team being that aggressive, and especially like spawn peeking and stuff like that, we absolutely did not expect that, and I was pretty naive at least.
Now, when you go to a map like Coastline, do you find that fast, aggressive play is exacerbated by the fact that you don't necessarily need as much utility as you do on other, more strat-heavy maps?
I think in general, Coastline is a map that you win more likely if you have good fraggers, and if you have a team which can frag it out. And if you have a team that's more utility-based, a team like Vitality, then a map like Clubhouse is better for them, or used to be better for them. Now,
we saw a lot of Mozzie play today, more than most maps and more than most playdays actually in one match. Is it a unique Coastline phenomenon that Mozzie came out, or do you think it's just an operator that suits both you and Vitality's playstyles?
Well, basically against Vitality, we started to realize that as soon as we know where they are and as soon as we have every information, that we're gonna win the rounds against them. So we started to gather as many information operators as we can, and well, Mozzie is one of the best information operators right now, as you can not only deny drones but also use them for your advantage. So it used to be very good for us, and well, also for Vitality, obviously denying every drone and getting information for them will also help them.
Now, you mentioned that on Coastline, the team that has the better fraggers tends to win. After you saw how aggressive Vitality was being at the onset on defense, was it a change that you made, or was your anticipation always to be as aggressive as you were through the X amount of rounds played today?
Well, basically, we just stick to our game plan. Like, we have our game plan, which we usually go through, and we were like, all right, just let's not get picked apart by them all the time, and let's just play together and we're gonna win it. Like, obviously the aggression caught us off guard in some rounds, but in most of the rounds, as long as we played it together, as long as we refract the people, it's counterable.
Well, you countered them quite well, and a 7-2 scoreline puts you back on top of European Pro League, and we'll see you in a couple days for the 4th play day, but in the meantime, anything to say to the fans, the viewers, your org, etc. at the end of this interview?
Well, we're thankful for every support that we get, and we're getting, at least I'm getting a lot of support lately, and I'm very thankful for that, and so is the entire team. The entire French scene is behind us, and even though we kicked out, well, we beat another French team, we're still thankful for every support we get.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It was great seeing you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'm sure we'll see you again.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
So, a very one-sided match, ended quite well in the favor of LeStream, thanks to their game plan being well thought out, well rehearsed, and well executed. And some minor hiccups in there with Hicks disconnecting twice, but it didn't seem to influence the overall outcome of that match. Vitality definitely need to go back to the drawing board on Coastline, that's for sure.
Without having the actual stats handy, Latin America's second play day last week felt like it was the fastest overall play day, and well, we're well on our way to breaking that land speed record so far through 2 matches, but we're only halfway there. We have our 3rd match coming up in just a moment, so sit tight, and then we'll be back with more Pro League. We'll see you soon.